The second variation of the question that can come is that based on the binary search that we have read, what you can ask me that questions based on. So what is the meaning of a rotation? So suppose, for example, initially you have the array like this 2, 3, 4. Now this array can be rotated both clockwise and anti-clockwise. So suppose if it is rotated clockwise, the clockwise means left to right, in this direction, left to right. So if it is rotated clockwise, if one time if I'm rotating clockwise, it will become equals to 5, and then 1, 2, 3. If I rotate it one more time, then it will become equals to 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. Similarly, if I anti-clockwise means I'm rotating it right to the left, right? From the right to the left, it means right to left. And the first time if I rotate, it will become 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And it can be like again, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So this is the meaning of the rotation. And then rotation is again a very famous or a very favorite topic of the interviews. So let's try to understand what are the different questions that can be asked as a part of the rotation. And when you are saying rotation, it will involve the concepts around sorting. It will involve the concepts around the previous array manipulation thing that we have seen. So what kind of question that can be asked? So what kind of question is that you will be told an array is rotated unknown number of times. Say, okay. Question is, you have been told that you have been given an array which was initially sorted, but then some random guy came and rotated the array unknown number of times, say clockwise. Okay, so the array was rotated unknown number of times clockwise. Say clockwise also I mentioned. You have to tell me how many times it was rotated. Okay, you got the question? It is for everyone, guys. Can you guys think of? So you have been given an array which was initially sorted, and then a person came and it rotated the array unknown number of times, right? Say k times it was rotated. After rotating the array, you don't know what was the initial state. You are only knowing that it was initially sorted. That is the only thing that you know. And after that, it was rotated unknown number of times. That array has been given to you, and now you have that rotated array. Now, what you have to tell me is that what is that number of times that this array has been rotated? How many times this array has been rotated? Can you figure it out? Can you guys think of any logic how we can solve it?
I mean, can we do like this? Suppose the unsorted array what we have currently, if we again sort that array and get back that array into the initial position, then we can know that how many times that array was.
Perfect. I think this works. I think Parito, this works. So what you have suggested is that sort and then one after another rotate. Okay. So basically the sorting will, so this involves sorting. So this will take n log n complexity. And then again you have to rotate it, say, rotate it multiple times. Okay. So again this will take, if you are rotating k time, that will take n into k time complexity, right? So basically the total time complexity is because n log n and n into k is, if you take sum both, higher order will take the preference, so the time complexity will be order of n into k itself. So basically a quadratic time complexity. So this will work, no doubt, but this will have this is a brute force approach. This is a brute force approach because it will take lots of time. Anybody else? Very nice. At least you have solved this question, so at least I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like we can go through the array and check where the one element is greater than the next element.
One element is greater than the next element.
Oh, sorry, less than. Like suppose we have 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. It will be like 4 will be less than 5. If we go to the next element I and we compare with 1, then 5 will be greater than 1. So we can.
With that, how do we define? How do we know that how many times it has been rotated?
So the index of that element will give that how many times it is rotated.
Okay, okay, perfect. I think he has made a perfect point. So normally what happens is that if the array was initially sorted, what it means is that the smallest element will be at the starting position, right, at the index 0. Now, as and when we keep on rotating the array, the smallest position will keep on moving to the right one after the another. So, for example, if you see in this, the first example that I told you, right? I'll again copy it here. Initially, initially the array was like this. Array was like this. So the smallest element 1 is at the position 0. When I rotated it once, it went to the position 1. When I rotated it twice, it went to the position twice, right? So what it means is that when I'm rotating an array clockwise, the number of times that I'll rotate is that many number of times the position of the smallest element will go to the in the right hand direction. So if we take it in the reverse order, I can say that if I know this assumption that initially the array was sorted and it has been rotated clockwise. So if I figure it out, what is the index of the smallest element? What is the index of a smallest element? I can say that many times the array has been rotated. Right. For example, in this case, the index of the 1 is 1. So I can say that it has been rotated one time. Similarly, in this, the index of 1 is 2, right? So I can say that it has been rotated 2 times, right? So basically the algorithm comes out what? Find the index of smallest element, and that is the number of, find the index of the smallest element, and that is the number of times it is rotated. This is the algorithm that you have to use. But what if, is it clear, guys? Everybody clear?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. Now the question is how to find the index of smallest element. Now your total time complexity depends on how intelligently you are trying to figure it out what is the index of the smallest element. Can you guys tell me how will you find the index of the smallest element? So given an array which is not sorted, it was initially sorted and now it has been rotated k times. You have to tell me what is the index of the smallest element. How do we find it?
Like I will run a one for loop, and using that I will find the index. Yeah, iterate.
This is one approach, and the time complexity of this would be how much, Manoj?
Of n.
Okay, perfect. So this is what you have done. Anybody else can think of anything? Just try to think. And the answer, and since I'm asking you, so it's very obvious that there is something else extra that I want you guys to reveal. And the answer somewhere lies in the things that we have already talked so far. Okay.
What if we to find the minimum value, if we can somehow do that a binary search type?
Perfect. Yes. So how do we do the binary search then?
So, like as you explained, that we'll take the midpoint and then we'll compare with every part. And if we get what the number we are looking out for.
Perfect. So I think your idea is very nice. So basically, see, even if it was a normal array with no information given to you, whether it's a sorted or a not sorted, this approach one will anyway work. Right? This will anyway work in any kind of array. So given any array, if you have to find the minimum element in that array, you can do it by doing a single iteration. But what advantage did you get with the additional information that you have, right? You have an additional information, and that additional information is that this array was initially sorted, okay, and then it was rotated, right? So anywhere in the question, whenever you hear a term called sorted, one thing that should sparkle your mind, one should that blink into your mind at the very first go is that somehow binary search should come into the play. As soon as there is a sorted keyword in a question that is mentioned, you should at least think once to go in the direction of the binary search, right? And I know this array was initially sorted. Right now, the array in the hand is not sorted, and we know that binary search only applies on a sorted array, and it is now rotated, so it's no more sorted. That is true, but I have one information that initially it was sorted. So we should at least try to think once that can binary search be applied here. Now, for applying a binary search, what are the things that is needed? The first and important thing is that you should have a sorted array, which is not available here. The second thing that is needed is that you should know what is the starting point and what is the end point of the array, which you know here, right? But we still have this little information that it was initially sorted, right? So can we try something to tweak the initial binary search code, right? So initial binary search code was what? So my initial binary search code is this one, okay? And in this case, the whole array was sorted, and how I was returning the result, I was returning the result based on this condition. When the array of mid is equal to the number that we are looking for, that is when we are returning the result. But in this case, can I apply the same binary search? We can, but we'll have to tweak our binary search a little, right? So in this case, what I'm looking for, initially in the previous binary search, I have been given a number and I was looking for that, right? But in this case, if I have to apply a binary search, I have to look for the another condition, what that condition is. Let's try to understand that first. So for example, if the array is rotated, for example, k times. So for example, in this, the array has been rotated 2 times. What you see is that the first part is also sorted, the second part is also sorted. The first part is also sorted, the second part is also sorted, and the index at which the smallest element lies, that is the only index where the left of it is also greater than that particular element and the right of it is also greater than that particular element. Got my point? So this is an array which is, rotated. So in the rotated array, in clockwise rotated array at index of smallest element, say I, right? Array of I minus 1 will be greater than array of I, and array of I plus 1 will also be greater than array I. This is, sorry, I plus 1. So this is the smallest indexes will be the only index where you will find this condition that both the left and the right is greater than it. Apart from that, the left will be always smaller and the right will be always greater, right? So this is the condition which we will have to utilize, and based on this condition, we'll have to apply the binary search. Okay, so what we can do, if I have to write a pseudocode for this, public int minimum index, and here again I do int left equals to 0 and right equals to array dot. I'll just copy this code from here. Now here my condition is now different. Instead of doing this check, what I'll do is array mid is greater than array mid plus 1, and array mid is greater than array mid minus 1. If this is the condition, I should return the mid, right? Now I have to think about this else if and else part also. Can you tell me what should be right in the else if and the else if part? So this is the condition where you will find the mid value, which is the index of the smallest element. But if you don't find it, how do you divide it into the two parts? How do you decide whether you have to go into the left or the right?
Vishwa, I have a doubt here.
Yeah.
In the first line, right, array of mid is greater than mid plus 1. No, there only.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And array of mid is greater than again array of mid minus 1.
Sorry, it should be small.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for that. Yeah. So just to pull it up.
Okay.
So this is the case when I, figure it out. So suppose my array was, and suppose it is rotated 3 times. If I rotate 3 times, it will become 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After rotating, this is the condition it will be, right? And in this case, if I go and find the middle one, so there are how many elements? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 8 elements, and if I do by 4, it will come out as this one. 8 by 4. Fourth element is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one I'll get is 2. Now once I get 2, I'll try to figure out this condition, but this is not true. So I have to now move either in this direction or I have to move into this direction. How do I decide that? What condition should I put in here? What condition should I put it in the else if?
You need to check whether the array of mid is greater than the mid plus 1 or not for that particular part.
Okay, array of mid is greater than array of mid plus 1. This is what you're saying. So array of mid is greater than array of mid plus 1. But this will never happen, right? Because the array is rotated in a clockwise manner only at the position where the smallest element is there. This is possible. Otherwise, the left part is also always sorted, right? If you see this, the left part is also sorted. So suppose this was rotated 3 times, so it will become. Now this is the smallest index, right? Apart from this to this also, it is always sorted. So always the right element will be more than the left element. And this part is also sorted. The right element is more than the left element. The only place where the right element is smaller than the left element is when you find the 0th element. This is the only position in the whole array where your right index. So the array mid will be greater than array mid plus 1 only at the position. So this, if you try look for this will only happen when you have found that smallest element, right?
Okay.
I think you're moving in the right direction. You just have to look for the right condition. The first time when you came inside the loop, right, you find the mid value. So in this array, if you see the problem that I have given, the mid position is this one, 4th, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the value at the mid position at the array mid is 2, right? And if I do a 2 is not satisfying this condition, whatever I have written in the if condition, right? So now once I'm here as a mid 2, next time either I should go in this direction or I should go in this direction, right? It is looking that I should go in this direction, then only I'll find 1, otherwise I'll not find 1. So what is that condition that I should put in the if block so that I skip this part and I only go in this part?
And okay, Vishwa, suppose if array dot mid is less than array of mid minus 1 in that case?
If array of mid is
less than
array of,
then will
so it is again that is the same condition. No? If array of mid is less than array of mid minus 1, that is only possible in one case, and that case will be for the smallest index, which I have already kept in here. No.
Okay, fine.
So now I know that this is not the condition. This is not the condition. Now I only have to take a call that should I go to the left of mid or should I look at the right of the mid, right? This is my only concern. So what we can do in that case is we can figure it out. Now what I see is if the value that I have got, at the mid position, if it is greater than the value at the start position. If the value of the mid was greater than the start position, it means from the start till the mid, this value was increasing. Can you say that? If I say that if value of mid is greater than value of array left, if suppose this is the condition, it means that it is increasing, right? So in this part, from the left till the mid, everything is increasing. So no value has gone down. So this part I can discard and I can do that left is equal to mid plus 1. Otherwise, right is equal to mid minus 1. Did you get it? What we did? What I'm saying is, if we check the value of the mid and the extreme left, and the value of the mid is more than the value of the left, in that case, this has been an increasing sequence. So if it has been an increasing sequence, there has been no value in between which could have been smaller than that. It means the value that I'm looking for will not lie in this range. It will lie in the right hand range. So if this is the case, I just move left is equal to mid plus 1. Otherwise, it would have lied in the left range itself. So I do right equals to mid minus 1. And this is a very strong concept, man, right? Direct binary search application you will find in very small set of questions. Mostly you will have to modify a binary search to apply in these kind of scenarios. Wherever you get a smell of there's something sorted, or it was initially sorted, or it can be sometimes sorted, right? Always try to think that there is something like binary search which can apply in that particular question. And binary search, again, just like recursion, is a very strong concept. Right? So with this, what we have seen is that initially the time that it wanted, if I do it like this, the time complexity was linear. But if I can find, the second approach that I can try is that to find the index smallest element using binary search, and the complexity will be log n. So in that case, in the log n time complexity, you can tell that how many times the array has been rotated. So this is the first concept around the rotation. So this is typically a pattern of the binary search. In any binary search, you will always try to go either in the first half, or you either want to go into the second half of the array. And this is how you should proceed. But the only thing that we have to keep in mind is that you have to be very intelligent in figuring out these conditions. If you are able to figure out these conditions, your job is done. And then you can use binary search in many other contexts also. So in the seed also, I have given you multiple questions where you have to apply the binary search, modified binary search at the multiple positions. And if you solve those questions, I think these things will get clearer. Okay.